Go ahead, you're on Hit the Ropes Radio.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, Skyler, what's going on, man?
Not much. How are you guys doing today?
Doing all right. We've got a couple rants going on, but you know.
Yeah, well,
we made it to you. So you're, a lot of people don't know who you are yet. So why don't you give us a little background on yourself and where down in the Carolinas you're wrestling and what you've been up to, what you're going to. Just fill us in on who Skyler is.
Well, first of all, I started wrestling. Oh, I've only been wrestling for about a year and a half, actually, and I guess you guys saw me down at Old School Championship Wrestling in Goose Creek, South Carolina.
Right.
I was 2008 Carolina Independent Wrestling's Rookie of the Year, and I've been busting my tail to get my name out there and wrestle all over South Carolina, not only South Carolina, but North Carolina and Georgia, West Virginia, and even made a trip out to Las Vegas as well. So I've been staying busy, guys.
Definitely. Las Vegas. How do you come from, the Carolinas to going across the country to Las Vegas?
I was actually very fortunate enough to get a tryout for the Cauliflower Alley convention out there, which is it's a big 3-day event where you get to see young talent as well as some of the legends of yesteryear. So it was I was actually fortunate enough to receive a tryout out there, made the show, and got to wrestle out there in Las Vegas. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So you've only been. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and anybody that's ever been to Vegas knows what an experience it is anyway, so it wasn't too bad.
I would say not.
Yeah.
So what has been, you got into the business just a year and a half ago. You're just a babe in the business. Who's been your inspiration to, why are you getting started into this crazy world of wrestling?
Well, growing up as a kid, I've always been a fan of wrestling. The guy that trained me, the fabulous Playboy Bob Keller, he likes to call me a student of the game. I grew up really idolizing Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, and they're pretty much the reason I've wanted to get into this crazy business. So, but I got trained at Bob Keller's School of Pro Wrestling, which is also training the likes of Jesse Wyndham, who's another up-and-comer, and people like Roughhouse Matthews, and several others have come through that same training facility.
All right. Cool. Now, what organizations are you currently wrestling for? I know I saw you down in Goose Creek for Old School Championship Wrestling. Is that the only place you're going, or are you hitting the road and with a couple different people?
Well, I've actually been on the road quite a bit lately. I wrestle currently every Friday night in Chester, South Carolina for APW Chester. I am currently their heavyweight champion, and they have some great talent out of there as well. They run every Friday night. I had been also touring with Champions with Attitude, which is a promotion based out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. And they run in Orangeburg and Columbia, and they've recently done shows also in Manning, South Carolina, and Sumter as well. And when I'm not wrestling for CWA, I've wrestled in Greenville, South Carolina for National Championship Wrestling, NCW. So like I said, I stay busy. And Robert Gibson, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, recently started his own promotion in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and they usually run on Thursday nights. So my weekend was
Have you been out there yet?
So Myrtle Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made a couple of appearances out there, and they're still trying to slowly build their show because, like I said, it's a fairly new promotion, and I mean, when you're running in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for me, when I go to Myrtle Beach, just as a normal person, I wouldn't say, hey, let's go to the beach to watch wrestling. So I would want Myrtle Beach to do other things. So it's kind of hard to run a wrestling show out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. But they're doing their best, and it's a very cool show worth checking out.
Yeah. I'm in Myrtle Beach right now, so I've been over there once to catch a show, and the only show I've been to, I went to one of the guys got his leg broken in the match. So
I believe that was Hexon, probably.
Yeah.
He actually, I think he snapped his fibula in two, which, you know, I mean, I hate it for him. But, you know, it's wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Injuries are going to happen. So.
That's right. Now, so obviously, you know, we've got three promotions that are kind of floating around as you got WWE, which is, you know, far and above everything else right now. And then we've got TNA and ROH close behind, as those two are kind of battling for the 2 and 3. Where do you see your style fitting in, or, you know, where do you hope to land?
Well, ever since I was a kid, it was my dream to wrestle for WWE. I mean,
Right.
Is it attainable? Yeah, it's attainable, but with the way things are these days, a guy my stature, it would be very hard. Not to say it's impossible, but I will definitely do all I can to attain that goal, because that's where I ultimately want to be, is, you know, WWE. Because like you said yourself, they're number one. You know, when you go places, people recognize you. So I wouldn't mind working for TNA or ROH, but you know, you know, WWE is my ultimate goal. So.
Right.
And it should be for anybody that's in this business.
Well,
Oh, sorry, Bears.
Go ahead, Shane.
Skyler, Shane, the other co-host. You're saying that everybody should aspire to want to get to the WWE, which I agree with, but then you're going to have those people out there who don't want to fit into that WWE style of wrestling. Mm-hmm. You're completely comfortable with, you know, changing whatever style you might develop before going to WWE, just to say that I'm in the WWE now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if somebody wants me to go out there and be a male cheerleader and they're throwing a certain amount of money my way, you know, why not do it? You know, I'm at the point right now where, fortunately, I'm still young and I don't have a family. But you know, down the road, if you have to provide for a family, you know, you got to take what they give you. And you know, I'm not saying it should be everybody's goal to reach WWE, because I know a lot of guys have different goals. A lot of guys don't aspire to ever go to WWE. For me personally, that's, you know, they're the king of the mountain, pretty much, so to speak. And one day, that's where I want to be.
Well, who do you see right now as the best in the biz? You know, that we see. You know, obviously there's some great indie talent out there, but on the main stage, who's the?
Hands down, in my opinion, agree with me or don't agree with me. I would have to say Randy Orton, hands down. I mean, there's an aura about him that draws you in to want to watch him. His facial expressions, I mean, he looks like a psychopath, and I just think, you know, his work is great, and you know, a lot of people complain about him and Cena always being on top, but you know what I mean. I'd say Randy Orton, hands down.
Okay. And
do you guys agree, or I mean, let's hear what you guys want to say. You know.
I'm not the world's biggest Randy Orton fan. I mean, his facial expressions are superb. They're superb. You know, I have to give it that. But currently, right now, I still think the best right now, especially in the WWE, is Chris Jericho.
And he's another one. Yeah. Now, I consider Shawn Michaels probably the greatest of all time, of my generation. Before that, I would say probably Ric Flair. Simply, I didn't state Michaels simply because he's towards the later stages of his career. He's not really in his prime anymore, as to where Orton and Jericho are probably